doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L Podcast.
All right, we're rocking and rolling. Listen, the Bandemic movie is on the way, and everybody's been talking about the Bandemic movie. I've been seeing it everywhere. All the trailers are popping up everywhere.
Yes.
You're responsible for this. Talk about your role and position with this movie.
Man, so like during the pandemic, I own a shoe store. So I seen like the difference, you know what I'm saying? When people had that money, they was coming in every day. It was just like, shit got crazy. So, and I seen like people that didn't have money start to get money, the way they were spending the money. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? What if I make this into a movie? You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really see nobody else do it. I ain't see no big motion picture people do it. And then I'm like, damn. I might be on to something with this, you know what I'm saying?
But so how did that lead you into making the movie?
I mean, so I bubbled up in the pandemic myself, but you know what I'm saying? I made a few dollars, but I'm like, shit, I need to reinvest into something else. And you know, Detroit big on Tubi right now.
Yeah.
And then I was in the midst of the whole pandemic shit, so I'm like, shit, let me turn what I done seen and experienced into this movie.
Okay.
Because it wasn't just about me selling the shoes and all that. I'm hearing different stories. People trying to get me to fly out to Cali with them. I'm like, hell no, I ain't fucking with that shit.
What do you now, as far as creating the film, you're the producer of it, right?
Producer, co-writer, co-director, all that.
Okay, so you took who did you leave as the director role?
It was me and my boy Derwin D. Who.
Okay, cool. And so when you decided to make this movie, who was the first person you called?
I called up D. Who. Because he the cameraman, so he done work with Puffy, CMG, all of them. And I know he a good editor, so I'm like, shit. I know he good with that camera, so I called him up first.
Okay. So it's just to go for sure for you. You decide, you're seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
Let me put this into a movie and put
Yeah.
your own spin on it to make it entertaining, right?
Hell yeah, because to me, I think I knew that shit wasn't gonna last. And I'm feeling like people gonna want to relive this. The people who didn't get off, they gonna want to see what was really going on. So let me take it, put it into a film, see what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. Talk about yourself a little bit. Are you from Michigan?
I'm from Detroit, yeah, West Side.
Okay, cool. Talk about your upbringing in Detroit.
Upbringing in Detroit, I'm from Zone 8, West Side. It was rough, but that's everybody's story from the D. So that ain't really nothing, but yeah.
Isn't it interesting when you talk about Detroit? It's kind of like when somebody comes back from war and you don't ask them about the war type thing. Like, I'm not going to give you any type of detailed answers because that's not.
Yeah, we all got PTSD from that shit from growing up in the D, for real, for real.
But not even just that, but the respect factor of not talking about it because of the fact that, like, since everybody's been through it, it's the thing that you don't bring
normal,
up. And,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't expand on it. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
Yeah, so growing up in Detroit, nobody ever comes on here and says it was the most joyful experience. That's the thing about it.
Nah.
And it's crazy to see how many people come successful from that, though. Like that, that disadvantage that you have when you grow up in certain areas and stuff like that.
I mean, the D, them struggles breed hustlers, you know what I'm saying? So everybody went through that struggle, you know what I'm saying? It might have fucked them up in the mind. Shit, I got to get out of this shit, you feel me? That was for me growing up. I know what the fuck was going on. I got to get up out of this. So you hustle and grind to make it out.
You had a conscious awareness, like, this isn't the type of life I want to live. And
No, you don't want to raise no kids and that, for real, for real. I mean, it's good and bad in a way because that struggle shit build character, but if you can avoid that shit, avoid that shit.
Yeah.
If you can, you know what I'm saying? Some people can't. You got to go through it. But if you can avoid it, avoid that shit.
Did you consciously, when you were growing up, know that right away, or did it take time, or did it take a certain circumstance for you to realize, like, this is not the lifestyle I want? Did you hit a certain age?
See, me and my homies, we was hustling for real since we was like 5. Not on no illegal shit, but like going up to the grocery stores, helping old people carry their bags to their car, getting changed and all of that. So we knew we was fucked up, but not really. But when you see your mama shit get set out on the street so many times, then shit, you think, like, damn, we really fucked up. Like, we ain't got no food. I can't even go get no new pair of shoes or no clothes. So it'll hit you. I mean, you might not know, but it'll hit you eventually when you're young too.
Yeah. So at 5, you're kind of going through it, just trying to hustle, trying to make money in any type of way you could. and then a certain time comes where you know you don't want this lifestyle. So what was the first steps that you took to kind of get yourself away from that?
I mean, the average from the D, they might start rolling or hustling, but I mean, I tried to get a job and shit and work that job, and I was a picture man before too, though. I was doing that since high school, so.
Cameras?
Yeah, like the picture man in the club.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So when I started doing that, like my uncle put me onto that, and when I started doing that, I started making like $500 a night. Well, when I was working with him, I was probably getting like $50 a night.
Oh, okay.
But then I learned it to start doing my own thing. Then I started making like $500 a night.
You were making
$1,000 a night.
$500 a night taking photos?
Yeah.
You were making more than the dancers, man. Goddamn.
I mean, a lot of people probably remember me from that, but it's been so long ago. Like, you go on my Facebook, all them old albums on there. That's when Facebook was popping, when I was a picture man.
How many nights a week were you working when you were making the 500?
I was working probably 3 nights a week.
Damn.
Yeah. I used to wish I could get a weekend to myself. I was every Friday, every Saturday, maybe some Tuesdays, $2 Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a Thursday in there sometimes or something.
Can you bring that mic a little closer to you? Yeah.
No.
Just a little bit? A little bit closer there? A little bit? Yeah, right there. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty damn crazy. What clubs were you working at?
Club 2000, Halftime, just all the clubs, the warehouse stuff that probably shut down right now, though.
What upcoming artists were you seeing at that time that you were seeing at the clubs and like performing and stuff?
Oh, man. Ludacris before he got popping.
Damn.
I met Faison Love. Met Trick Daddy the night that he got rushed.
Wow.
He came to the club that night, but I guess he went to after hours and got rushed at the after hours. Big Daddy Kane.
Wow.
Slick Rick. A lot of them. They was Club 2000. They was getting them in. They had the artists coming in. The Locks. I used to take these pictures to school, at high school. They thought I was cropping the photos or something, like, because I was taking pictures with all of them.
Yeah.
They thought I was cropping the photo. Oh, that's fake. That's fake. But as time went on, they seemed like, oh, that shit was real.
Damn.
Yeah.
Slick Rick is crazy.
Yeah,
man.
Slick Rick.
Legend. So how long did you do that for before you stopped? Did you get to
I did that from about 15 to about 30 for like 15 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I used to do weddings and all that type of shit.
Did you get into the like Doughboys era, like with the photos and stuff like that, or did you get into like that time, or did you stop earlier than that?
Doughboys music was popping in the clubs, but I didn't get into no videography.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I was just doing photography.
Okay, but you didn't see them at the clubs or anything like that? Did you get to?
I seen them at the clubs. They did a after party. My mans was throwing concerts, but that shit was like way out in Mount Clemens or some shit like that.
So you were really hustling, man. Like you figured out how to make a business out of the photography. Like, and most people are struggling right now to make it happen. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that professional career going. What was like kind of the next steps for you?
So I was working, and my man was telling me about the shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come out here with me, you know. I'm buying shoes and selling them right in the line. I'm like, buying shoes and selling them. I mean, like, I'm getting 100 extra, 50 extra. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard that, but I'm working. So I'm like, shit, if I'm going to do that, I got to at least get 10 pair to make it worth my while, because I got to call off work. That's going to be at least 100, 150. And then, shit, I need to make some pros on top.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't just about to get no 1 pair. I might get at least 10. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where the Hummer Boy came from, because that's what they called me, Hummer Boy. But I was doing the shoes in the Hummer, you know what I'm saying? Out the back of the Hummer, out the back of the trunk. Yeah.
How did that evolve to you getting your own storefront?
I mean, you just got to graduate over time, man. I can't be hustling out the back of the trunk forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had that plan before the pandemic anyway, but when the pandemic came, it just hit like bam. You know what I'm saying? Because before the pandemic, I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm going to sell about 5 shoes a day in the store. But when the pandemic came, I was selling about 150 shoes a day.
There's no way. That's
yeah,
so
all
crazy.
this, it's all documented.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
150 shoes a day?
Yeah, they was coming through there like that. I got videos, people walking out. You know, I ain't had no bags. They just carrying them out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Each person buying at least 5, 6, 10 pair of shoes.
So pre-pandemic, did you have your own storefront?
Pre-pandemic, no. I just had a bunch of inventory.
Okay, cool. And so we'll talk about the moment that you started seeing, like, when the news started about COVID spreading to the point where you actually realized the business started booming.
When the news started spreading about COVID, I was thinking like, damn, I'm not about to open a store because this shit all about to shut down. But I made a post, you know what I'm saying, at home. I had all my inventory, and it's still on my page right now. It's on a post that say quarantine. I posted that, you know what I'm saying, and I just showed all the inventory I had in my living room. And after that, my phone just got the booming. I didn't even know the money had came in like that, but they just started ringing my phone.
Yeah. Talk about the beginning of realizing everybody has this money and it's going out of control.
Realizing that, I'm trying to think, because it just hit so fast. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, damn. But I was hearing extra 700, extra 700. You know what
does that mean?
Like the people that was getting unemployment that was staying at home during the stay at home, it was something about an extra 700 they was getting. So I'm like, damn, they using that. They coming through with that extra 700. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that people didn't just save that money, instead they bought like materialistic goods?
I mean, I could say that, but people was cooped up in the house for what, 2 months? So when they got out, the first thing they want to do is get fresh and go be on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, I can see it.
People don't remember that they were stuck in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went through that, but don't nobody remember that no more.
Yeah. Some people, like, even if they, like, kind of scammed or whatever the frick they did.
Yeah.
Like, think about the fact that they got like $20,000 extra to their name now. And a lot of them blew it on stuff that didn't matter. Like now,
I mean, they might have blew some with me, but they ain't blow it off.
I'm not talking about just you. I'm talking about just in general. Like how crazy.
The jury stores got off. Saks, Somerset, everybody got off.
Yeah. How does that reflect into the movie? So when you're seeing the movie in your mind, how are you putting it together with what's actually going on?
When I'm seeing the movie in my mind, when I'm thinking about the movie, I try to capture every little piece of what was happening. Like, them going crazy at the mall, going crazy at the jewelry store. You going to the jewelry store, nothing in the jewelry store because everybody done bought everything out the jewelry store.
Yeah.
You know, crispy Air Force Ones. That was a thing around that time, parking the Air Force Ones. When you wear them 1 or 2 times, parking them. We try to capture the essence of everything that was going on in the pandemic at that time.
Parking them is the funny. And people tell me to park mine all the time, man. It's crazy. One or two times, you don't like them?
I'll put you together. I'll get you a fresh pair, man.
Nick, zoom in on my shoes. So
what
right
size
now,
you need?
So look, Nick, look at my shoes. Right now, he's telling me to park these.
Yeah, you probably should have been parked
I want
them.
people who are watching this to tell me, should I park these? These look pretty damn fresh. Now look at his.
Them laces. This a crispy pair right here. You feel me?
Okay. Nobody's looking at the bottom of the shoes, man. Okay, so you
Kid L, man, you gotta stay with a crispy white pair.
Well, you know, some people, like especially girls, literally dirty up their Air Forces on purpose.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but I mean, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
But there's no other clothes that you do that with, or apparel that you do that where you wear it once or twice and it costs $100 and you're done with it. Like that's only the Air Forces.
Cause they all white.
Yeah,
they gotta be crispy when you put them on. Like once you get a couple creases in them, and them laces get to turn and they biscuits, you gotta throw them out. You know what I'm saying?
2 times.
You can't keep them on, bro.
You can only wear Air Forces twice. That's so crazy.
I'm gonna tell you, I probably sold about 10,000 pair of Forces.
Oh my God.
Yeah, about 10,000 pair. 2020 to 2022, 10,000 pair for sure.
Yeah.
They was calling me the king of crack because they was calling them crackheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they was calling me the king of crack at that time. You know what I'm saying? Not real crack, but the king of the crackheads.
Yeah. $100,000 basically in Air Forces. Sold in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing ever. And you know, it was impossible to find Air Forces too. That was another thing.
Yeah, I was getting them.
How much were you selling Air Forces for when they were hard to find?
Probably about 150, 160.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was crazy. I couldn't find them anywhere. I was going to the store like, I'm not gonna pay you $200 for Air Forces right now. It's not gonna happen.
Steep with it.
But then I realized you can't get them anywhere, so I was like, all right, I'll buy them. $200, fuck it. Like that's how I was. I was like, you can't get them. But talk about the movie a little bit as far as little parts that really tell the truth of what was happening during the pandemic.
Man, like, I really wasn't trying to get too deep with it because I didn't want them thinking I did that shit because I didn't do none of that shit. I didn't get off with none of that at all, but everything that I was hearing, you know what I'm saying, from different people that I don't even know, just random people telling me stories, you know, how they going out to Cali, how niggas getting robbed out in Cali and coming back with nothing, or they going hitting all the different states, getting the Airbnbs, or they going to the turn-in with the Arabs. The Arabs taking 30%. You know what I'm saying? You might have 100,000 worth of cards, but you got to get him 30,000. He going to swipe the card clean for you. all this different stuff. The parking the Air Force Ones, that was happening at my store a lot. People coming up there to get the Air Force Ones. So that was a major thing. You couldn't find no 42 nowhere. 1942. Everybody had big body. That's all they wanted to drink at that time. 1942. So we try to touch base on all the little intricate details. You know what I'm saying?
What was one of the things that you noticed during the pandemic or Bandemic that really you did not expect people to want and go crazy for, and it was like hard to get? Besides toilet paper, obviously.
PS5s.
PS5s went crazy? Oh, because there was a shortage of the chips and
I
shit
sold
like that.
probably about 200-300 of those PS5s.
How'd you get 200 to 300? You just bought them direct?
I just had plugs, you know what I'm saying? People that was buying them, bringing them to me, selling them to me. It was like the dope game. Like, they bring them to me for their price, then I got to add a little bit on it. It was stepped on, you know what I'm saying?
How much were you selling PS5s for?
First year, 1,500. 2020, did they drop 2020? So 2020, 1,500. 2021, like 1,200.
Yeah.
2022, 1,000.
Yeah, man.
Right now, they just retail. Because it ain't really a big thing. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying, got no money like that no more.
Yeah, that is crazy. People were going crazy for PS5s, that's for sure. Talk about the cast, man. Now, who are the main characters? You know, I know you got my boy Jack Funny in there, man.
Jack Funny in there, he killed it, man. Jack Funny, big ups to Jack Funny, man. Jack Funny, he did his thing, and he really did us a solid the way it happened, but we ain't even gonna really talk about that too much. But that'll probably come out later when he want to talk about that. But yeah, he showed up, showed out.
Talk about the main cast.
King James 313, James Perkins. He been in a lot of Detroit films, Tubi films. He up and coming. He just got signed by some management company. He out here killing it. We got Smoke in there.
Yep.
Smoke. Those are three main characters, but we got a lot of supporting cast though, like my nigga Deuce, Glow Cashy. We got Auntie. We got my man's Jay, who played a mailman. And we got a lot of love from just like Detroit, period, because we got Greenfield Market.
Cool.
They let us use that. Hutch.
Yep.
Ace of Spades. Twins Auto. We got all that. So this a big production. It ain't no little, you know, it look good.
Now, this is your first movie, right?
My first movie.
Talk about, you know, how you expected it to go versus how it went as far as making the film.
It was a lot of hiccups down the road, you know what I'm saying? The budget wasn't what it was at the end. Like, my budget was here, I went here with it, you know what I'm saying? I learned a lot though, but for my next one I'm gonna be on point though, but we still brought y'all a good film though.
So as far as what you expected to kind of stay in the ballpark of your budget, and then everything
way over budget.
Yeah, and then, you know, things always get added on throughout time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because we flew to Cali, we had to add all. You know, you can't do a Bandemic movie without Cali.
Talk about
the Cali scene.
Talk about the Cali scene and how it gets incorporated.
So during that time, like I said, when stuff dried up here, this is all from what I'm hearing though, because I don't know. I'm hearing it dried up in Michigan, and then they had to take their talents to Cali. And I heard Cali was paying out big, like 40 a card or something like that. So what they was doing, I guess, this is all hearsay. They would rent the Airbnb, you know what I'm saying, put their stuff through, send them all there, and they was just coming through 40 or 50 a card. No problem.
Wow. People figure out everything. People are like, all right, just do this and do this.
Detroit, go get it, you know?
Yeah. I remember I did that one time. They were like, Amazon gift cards, if you spent $100, the gift card would be worth like $120. So I bought like a bunch of gift cards and shit.
Oh,
I was like, let me just keep buying them and buying
real?
them. Yeah, because you think about it, it's like if you buy 100 of them, that's like an extra 2 racks. So I was like, all right, bet. And then
Are you gonna spend that money on Amazon anyway?
No, that was the problem. I didn't think that part through about how, like, all right, well, you got to buy everything from Amazon. I was like, shit, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
Everybody figures out everything, man. It's crazy. Like, you figure out ways
don't nobody hustle harder than Detroit, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, you know, you said that the hardest part so far was understanding the budgeting part of it and how that flipped. What about the the trials of the co-directing and getting people together and all those aspects as well?
Yeah, all that's a struggle too. You know, people not being on time, you being on set 12, 14 hours a day. I was responsible for a lot of stuff because this was my first movie. I ain't know that. I supposed to have somebody for the food. I supposed to do this, do that. So I'm running around doing all that myself. While trying to direct, I'm going to putting in orders, getting everybody food, making sure everybody eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm directing. I'm doing a slate. I'm trying to write an ad-lib at the same time. But it came out nice though, man. I think they gonna like it.
Yeah, I know. You know, every time anybody's ever talked to me about anytime anybody's ever talked to me about making a movie, because I'm gonna make movies soon too. Like I've always been wanting to make movies, but I always put into the equation that people don't show up. That's one thing I always put in the equation because I was like, I'm not gonna play that bullshit game or one of the main actors or one of the leads or one of the side characters doesn't show up. That would bother the hell out of me.
I mean,
but it's a sacrifice you have to take. Even if you have contracts, you're talking about Detroit, motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
Contract? No, they professional. Some unprofessional. They just get on the females with me. They just got on a Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. They was acting real sedity like. You know what I'm saying? This their first movie or their second movie. They acting like I only like the green M&Ms already. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's what I would have
when
said.
they want to pull up. That the dudes was cool for most part. They was on time. Everybody was on time. They just gotta have a little stuff they need, you know?
Yeah, it's very important that people understand, especially when you're an upcoming entertainer in Detroit. If you're an upcoming entertainer anywhere, you have to remain humble. If you're telling people, yo, I need these types of M&Ms, when you don't even have a track record or a portfolio or
they
anything.
didn't really do that. That's just me
Oh, well, listen, but I'm talking from personal experience where I've seen people literally act like they already made it because they are a part of something. You can't do that, man. You have to treat everything as humble as possible.
Well, I think that's how they feel like I'm a star, so this is how a star supposed to act when that really ain't how it's supposed to go. Yeah. You know, not in the beginning at least. If you make it and you good, maybe you get to acting like that, but not in the beginning, hell no.
Yeah.
Not at any time for me, I'm gonna act like that.
No, never, man. I've never been like in a position where I'm like, what, you guys don't have this for me?
Them females gonna do that to you, so you need to be ready for that.
I'll kick them off set. I would. I know, for real. I would kick a girl. If a girl told me, hey, I need specific types of M&Ms, I'd be like, you can leave.
And what are you halfway through the movie, though?
I wouldn't care. I'm going to find somebody who looks exactly like you.
That's what they be talking about, too, how the person be switching and it be different people in the same scene.
I'm going to do it. I don't care.
Like
you start talking about, listen, there's certain things I won't kick you off set for, but if you start talking about what color M&Ms you need, I'm going to tell you straight up, listen, we're going to find somebody who looks exactly like you.
They don't like no black M&Ms. Take all the black out.
We'll take you out. Your murder scene is going to happen now. You weren't supposed to die in the script, but now you're going to die in the script. Like, that's how I would play it. Like, she died? What? During the movie?
It ain't going to work like that.
Can't play.
You have to rewrite that whole script.
Yeah, you're right. Because like if Chris Tucker had been like, yo, I need M&Ms on Friday, and I kick Chris Tucker out of the movie.
That's what I'm saying. You just going to have to deal with it.
Ezell, you're going to play Smokey C now.
You just get him on the contract, man. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
They're going to show up.
Mm-hmm. Talk about your favorite part about being directing your first debut film. Talk about the best parts about it for you.
I mean, it was fun, man. A lot of people was thanking me for the opportunity, so that felt good. You know, a lot of people, this their first time being on there, and they want to start pursuing it more because I gave them a chance, you know, to get on that screen. But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, you know.
How do you plan to market it? As far as not as far as marketing it, as far as preparing for it, but when you post it or when you get the video finalized, where's it gonna go, and how are people gonna be able to see it?
Tubi, Amazon. Yeah, maybe just Tubi or Amazon.
Okay.
But it's just the first of many, though, so.
Now, does Tubi, like, pay you for streams, or how does that work?
Yeah, Tubi pay you per streams. I don't really know the amount. It's an undisclosed amount, but when the checks come in, you'll be able to see all that, though.
Okay, so do they don't outright buy your movie from you?
Nah, they just pay you per stream.
Okay, and so did you negotiate with them, or does it just like, hey, we have the movie, here it goes?
No, just like Amazon, they take half, I think. Tubi, you don't really know what they doing, but they gonna pay you out though.
Talk about now the theater when you premiere it, right?
Right.
Talk about when it is and how people can figure out about it.
The premiere gonna be at the Redford Theater, Grand River and Lasher, 313 day weekend. So that's but the Sunday before 313 day, so it's 3/12/23.
Okay.
Doors open, red carpet at 5:30. You know, you get to take pictures with the cast, the crew, whatever. Mingle a little bit, do a little networking. We're gonna have media there, doing interviews and all that. The show gonna start at 7. So 5:30 to 7, taking pictures, mixing, mingling. 7 the show start. The movie gonna probably run about 2 hours with the preview, because we gonna throw some previews in there too of some upcoming stuff. And then the show 2 hours. So it ended at 9. Then we got the after party at Annex. Gonna be hosted by Lil Meech.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
have
from
to stop
BMF?
through there too. Yeah, Lil Meech from BMF. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Now, when you're directing this movie, now you have a director, right? You have somebody who's
Right.
considered the main director.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you were still playing your role as far as getting the vision to life.
Right. Yeah, because it was my vision, so I had to bring the vision to life.
What made you decide not to be the head director and to have somebody else take a little bit of control? Is it just because you felt like your boy had more experience?
It was really half and half. We really split it down the middle, but I was really there hands-on the whole time. But we didn't have everything like mapped out, so I had to play a lot of different roles. So when I'm gone, he take over. When he gone or when he's shooting, I take over. You know what I'm saying? If he missed something, oh, damn, you missed that shot right there. Let's get that shot back in there. You know what I'm saying? We even had to reshoot a couple scenes.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, because it wasn't right. We're trying to make it as best as possible for the people.
Yeah.
People want to relive that moment, man. People hated to see it. They really thought it wasn't going to never end, and they hated to see it leave. You know what I'm saying? I hated to see it leave. I wish it was still going on. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even doing this shit.
Yeah.
So I know they mad at something with. So at least when they watch this movie, they get a chance to relive it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, damn, that was a time to be alive, you know?
Yeah.
And they probably gonna think to themselves, I should have did this, should have did that. But don't even worry about it. Just watch the movie and go back down memory lane for a little bit and just appreciate that you was a part of that.
Now, is there a main storyline throughout the film, or is it kind of just experiences and stories being told throughout?
No, it's a main storyline. It's a little love story in there. It's a little bit of everything in there.
Okay, what's like the main plot?
The main plot, to sum it up in a nutshell, is 2 dudes, right? That's Jack and James. So Jack is the, he kind of like, if I had to compare it to any movie, he like the Smokey. He the friend that's smoking weed, that's always doing petty scams. He trying to figure shit out. He don't want to work no job. James is the guy who working a 9 to 5. He trying to fly straight. He helping his auntie out, paying with the bills and all that. So basically the story is 2 guys go from being broke to rich to broke.
Yes.
Again.
That's what happened in the Bandemic.
I mean, not for everybody.
Not for everybody, but the general
for the majority. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I would have went. Yeah, that's
even
true.
even as far as like the marijuana, the weed game, all that go, they was taxing. We touched base on that. You know what I'm saying? We touched base on a lot of stuff that was going on.
How much of it is based on? It's actually based on a real life story. Like how many of the mini stories in there are based on like something you actually seen and actually experienced?
All of it. I didn't experience it.
Like seeing it, I'm saying. Like just
I
seeing it.
either heard of it
Yeah.
or seen it.
That's what I'm saying. Not your experience, but seeing it and hearing. So 100% of it's stuff you heard and seen.
100%, yes. 100%. All of it.
So based on true events to some degree.
Yeah,
does it say that in the beginning?
True events.
Does it say it in the beginning? That would be hilarious.
I think it do. It should. If it don't, we're going to change it if it don't.
Based on true events, stuff.
Yeah.
A movie's always better when you know it was based on real life, right?
It's based on real life for sure. My man, he started out catching a bus, then he whipped in a 2020 Escalade and all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it happened.
Yeah. People were going crazy. Did you ever see any of or hear any stories of somebody spending money on something ridiculously stupid, or even you were like, that's just stupid?
I seen on Instagram somebody had like an AP, like they was holding their dreads together with an AP. I heard people was buying monkeys and kangaroos. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did have a monkey in their front seat. Man. It was one of them videos too. We touched base on the 100,000 on nothing. I know you seen that video.
100,000 on nothing.
So it was like a group of guys that was getting off, I guess, and they somebody captured them on film. I'm about to spend 100,000 on nothing. You know what I'm saying? We even redid that scene. We remade that scene. We got them in the strip club balling, Somerset balling. all through the neighborhood at the little mom and pop stores balling.
Yeah.
Coming up to Privilege Kicks balling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me one of them each size. I don't care what it costs. Give me one of each.
Man.
And the 12, give me one of them.
Whew.
That whole wall. You know what I'm saying? That was real life.
Yeah, man. That's what happens when you get free money, dude.
For this movie, man, it had to be somebody from Detroit to make this movie because wasn't nobody going to tell it like that. New York couldn't tell it. Cali couldn't tell it. Nobody else could tell it like somebody from Detroit that was in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Because Detroit was getting off the hardest.
How long did it take you to write the script?
The script, everything was in my head already, but the script probably took about a month and a half.
Month and a half. Was it like 90 to 120 pages?
It was probably like 120 pages, maybe a little more.
Mm.
Yeah.
When you're editing the film, how much of it are you realizing you need to take out? How long is the editing process going?
We shot so many different scenes, like so many different angles. So we took, but it all come together. Out of the whole thing, we probably left out maybe one scene that I wanted to keep in, and we might add that for the Tubi version. We ain't gonna leave that for the theatrical version.
Okay. What's the runtime on it?
Runtime probably like 1:55.
Okay.
I know that might seem long in like movie theater world, but in Tubi world, like sitting on the couch at home, I can watch 3-4 episodes of a series back to back to back. That's like 3-4 hours. So 2 hours ain't gonna be no time.
No, I feel like 155 is fine, honestly. As long as you guys kept the pacing and everything.
We kept the pacing, yeah.
When you watched it, did it come out the way you expected?
It came out about 95% of how I expected. Like I said, that one scene that got left out, we might add that back in, but it came out right.
Yeah. That's the runtime's always the toughest part, knowing how long. But when they do premiere events like you do at these theaters, usually the ticket's way higher than you're going to AMC to watch it. It's usually like $40-$50 for a ticket.
$50.
So I want my 2 hours. I want to see a 2-hour movie. I want to come in there and see an hour or five.
This is more of an experience. I mean, it's at an actual theater. It's not at a movie theater. It's at the Redford Theater, which to me look like a mini little Fox Theater.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the city, but when you get in there, you're going to think you out of the city when you come in there and see how it look on the inside. They done kept that boy up. It's pristine.
Did anything happen in the movie during shooting where the actors took kind of control over maybe adding extra stuff, maybe like making it funnier than the script was?
They added extra stuff all the time. You got to let them do them sometimes.
Yeah.
Let them get them creative juices flowing on their own. It might make it better, you know what I'm saying? But if it's something worse, you're like, hey, we're just going to keep it like that. But 9 times out of 10, we're going to let them do their thing,
As far as being this your first movie that you're directing and co-directing, what is the amount of tension inside while you're delegating things? I mean, things you're unfamiliar with, unfamiliar terrain as being a new director, but as far as out of a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most tension, how is the tension fluctuating throughout the creation of the film?
The tension going to hit 10, 11, 12 sometimes.
Man.
Because like you said, the actresses might, you know what I'm saying, they might not pull up. They might sit there all day and not even shoot their scene, and they might be getting mad at you. Oh, I got to come back. Now you got to pay for their makeup again or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't get to shoot that day.
Yeah.
I ran into a lot of that, man. Like I said, them Nicki Minaj personalities. I thought I was dealing with like 5 or 6 Nicki Minaj's at one time.
Yeah.
And I told them that. They know. I told all of them that. Like, y'all acting like Nicki Minaj or something.
I bet you Nicki Minaj doesn't even act like how you think Nicki Minaj acts, man. Because I've been in some room with some like serious celebrities, and I realized like a lot of them are actually really fucking cool, man.
Nicki Minaj seemed like she'll let you have it, though.
You think so? Lie. You think she'll snap on your ass?
It seemed like it. It seemed like she'd be ready to go, too. That's what I'm saying. That's why I call them little Nicki Minaj.
It could be. But I've seen a lot of people who actually made it substantially and successful, even Cash Doll, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you see that picture of her right there, man.
Dig, but the whole thing is, like, you can tell some people just know how to remain calm internally, and those people find more business. I guess when you do get to a certain level, I can see why somebody wouldn't even give a fuck anymore about how they put themselves out. But like when you're growing in the beginning, it's important to stay as humble and calm as possible. Like, what's the people?
The people is who you know what I'm saying? They supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just turn your back on the people. You gotta, look out for them as much as you can. Try to sign as many autographs or whatever. I know they get tired of that, but they got to do that though. Them it's the people who putting you on.
Well, even if you're not even talking about the fans, but you're talking about the production that you're a part of, right? Like look at Fresh Prince, like the first mom of Fresh Prince, how she got replaced because of her attitude and the way she handled her set and stuff like that. It's like that happened because of the way you handled yourself, and no disrespect, but I don't know where her career went after that, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So it's important to just like stay humble no matter how far along in the game you are. It's just no point in not doing it. Nobody's going to want to work with you. Like right now, if I was directing any film and some girl or person or man or anybody was giving me any type of thing where annoyance, I'd be like, I don't care how talented you are, how many tickets we're going to sell because of you, I don't want to work with you again. And because you're not working with me again, you don't know how many doors you
But what if it was
close.
somebody like Jack, though, give you attention? You see what I'm saying?
No, even if it was Jack, I'd be like, Jack, you're not going to work with me again because you got to think
but
about...
But you're going to finish that one out, though.
Yeah, I would. You'd have to. You can't be stupid.
Yeah, you gotta.
You'd have to,
that
but
out.
you just don't work with them again. Like I don't want to work with you again. I don't need you around me. Like because at the end of the day, there's so much talent in this world, man. There's so much damn talent. You know, especially these days, you can find talent. Even for you, the casting process. How did you kind of determine who you wanted in the movie?
We did a cast, and when I say Jack, don't think because Jack was amazing.
No, I know. We're just talking. Man.
But we did a casting call. The casting call, we found about half the cast through the casting call, but there was certain people that I just knew I wanted to play. Like Jack, I know I wanted him to play Mike. Smoke, I know I wanted him to play Dre. James, I know I wanted him to play Dion. You know what I'm saying? That was the core of the whole thing. We just built out from there.
Isn't it interesting how you can look on social media and know these people will fit in your project?
Jack, it was all really based all around Jack, for real. Jack was posting them little videos about scamming and all. I'm like, damn, he gonna be the perfect one for this. You know what I'm saying? Because he already had them scammer vibes. That's when he was doing a lot of them scammer videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he really was embodying that whole shit with the scammer. Even though that ain't what he do. But he transformed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
he
you're
did it 100%.
That's what's so perfect about you directing is because you're so tied in. You're from the city. You understand the scene. You understand who's doing what and how they're doing it. So you knew how to put this together.
Ain't nobody gonna be mad at this. They be like, damn, he told the story for real, how it happened.
Yeah.
And there's some other shit happening. I really don't want to give too much away, but they go like, damn, like that shit was really happening like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited to see how this happens. This could be like the next Buffed Up and Bigger. You know, Buffed Up is one of those
like
landmark films that everybody always looks back to at Detroit films, but hopefully it blows up even bigger and bigger and
hopefully
gets to that Friday level or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, they be calling me the next Ice Cube. The cast calling me the next Ice Cube. And they did. I didn't do that. They did because I got some other ones lined. They like, you going to be the Detroit Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying?
As far as production's concerned, did you take it to that level or what was like the production value as far as
production
cameras?
value? Red, 8K, all the high end, best of the best. So the movie shot in 6K, I think.
So you did it where you can enter Netflix. With the
I don't know if Netflix even be taking people. Do they take people?
Yeah, they do. I have a friend that works on Netflix. But the thing is you have to meet certain requirements to be up there, like resolution and quality of camera and everything like that. So I'm pretty sure Red, what was it, Scarlet?
It's the Red
or Dragon,
the newest one. It was like 90,000.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. It probably was a Dragon, but
probably the Dragon. I don't know.
But either way, yeah, most likely it can enter film in Netflix, most likely. But yeah, those are important because then you get on more platforms.
I don't know if this is gonna be ready like for Netflix. So it's a lot of it's not a Detroit. It's a Detroit film, but not a Detroit film at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about what's going on in the D, but the production is. You know what I'm saying? We try to take the production up a little bit. And then, like, we still got, like, for, like, a lot of the scoring and the music, we use a lot of Detroit songs. So we wanted to keep that D feel. But, yeah, so I don't think it's really, because Netflix you can't probably cuss that much or
no, it's not like that. It's more just like, does it appeal to a niche audience or even then on a wider broad audience. So that's the only things. But either way, man, like at the end of the day, to get it to a Friday, because the closest thing you can say that it was a Friday movie from Detroit is Buffed Up.
Yeah.
So like it would be cool if your movie hit the Friday level somehow. Like you just hit it. Like we just got it.
It's good, man. It's good. I'm telling you, they gonna like it.
No, that's what I hope. That's what I hope happens. Because if you break open those doors, man.
Hey,
Shit.
It's a lot of people out here killing it with the movie scene though, but it's not a lot of comedies coming out the D. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of drug, murder, mystery. It's not really a lot of comedies, and that's really all I'm gonna focus on is on comedies for the most part.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's hard to do comedies, but when you get the right people, you got the right script, you can make it happen. But because I asked a few people, like, damn, why did they say them comedies are hard? It's hard to be funny.
Yeah.
But this funny though.
For sure. Tell everybody again how they can figure out about the film and find out the premiere dates.
Well, it's on Eventbrite, the Bandemic movie. You can follow my page, HummerBoy313, the link in my bio. Smoke page, Jack page is on everybody's page. But it's going to be at the Redford Theater, March 12th, 5:30 to 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? That's what we hoping, 5:30 to 9. It might run, but we got the after party at Annex with Lil Meat, so it's going to be crazy. That's 313 Day weekend. It's going to be crazy, you know?
For sure. Listen, man, this was an awesome talk. It's always good to talk to a fellow director, somebody who's bringing something to the game, man. I see that shirt, too.
Man,
Show up that shirt real quick. Make sure that's all fire. Yeah, man, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing, anybody who's helping the stepping stones of getting exposure for film in Detroit is somebody I always have a lot of respect for because it's extremely difficult.
Ain't easy. It's not.
I know. I've been in the movies. I've in the Detroit films, and I've being even a part of it for a little moment. I'm like, God damn, this is a lot. A lot going on. A lot of different people you got to deal with.
It's a lot.
My advice to everybody who wants to be a part of the film industry in Detroit is take every moment of it seriously. Be humble with it. People like you, you're a very humble person. You're very educated when it comes to the Detroit culture and when it comes to putting something that's truth and reality, which I always respect. Like you said, it's based on
true events.
Exactly. So anybody who wants to be a part of the film scene, take that shit seriously, man. You got people like this who are really trying to make it happen. Appreciate you being a part of this. We got the Bandemic movie coming out. What was the date one more time?
The premiere, red carpet premiere, March 12th at the Redford Theater.
Okay, we'll see you guys March 12th.
Tickets running out, so you better go get those fast, man.
Redford Theater, man. We're going to be there. We'll catch you guys soon. High Low Visual is shooting these productions. We're at Parallel Sound Studio. We're out. Peace.